doing in a city park riding? Or better yet, you know I bet you're at home cooking. I wonder what you are wearing. A cable knit sweater you pair with corduroy slacks. Wait, I take that back. You might be more daring. I've been over every detail, every bus of peace. So I know that there will come a day. It could be snowing or I find myself caught in the rain. I'll look into the crowd, so many faces, but a single one will stand out. Heart skipping a beat, 1, 2, 4, and 3. Then suddenly call me crazy, but I think it might be the one for me. Am I being romantic or just unrealistic? If I believe in destiny and everyday magic, is there a someone for no one, or just no one for someone? Where do we fall? Is it our goal? Can fate be outrun? I've been over every detail, every philosophy.
Today we have 14.
So I know that there will come a day. Could be snowing and I'll find myself caught in the rain. I'll look into the crowd, so many faces, but a single one will stand out. Heart skipping a beat, 1, 2, 4, and 3. Then suddenly call me crazy, but I think it might be the one for me. I guess it's just a consequence of being stuck in my room. Have nothing to do, so I start dreaming up you. You might be a creation of my subconsciousness to cope with life going mad. Can you blame me for that? So I know that there will come a day. It could be snowing or I'll find myself caught in the rain. I look into the crowd, so many faces, but a single one will stand out. Heart skipping a beat, 1, 2, 4, and 3. Then suddenly call me crazy, but I think it might be the one for me.
We're chasing one another, getting lost in another summer. Never wanted it to end. Now I'm losing all my friends. I'm reminded of the pain when I'm on the interstate, me and the moon, and we think of you. Remember when we sat out in the football field, watch the sunset and succumb to all our favorite feels. But somehow I was sad, cause I knew that it would end. And I'll go home all alone, but I'd be watched and I'd be warm. Couldn't go to bed, cause you were in my head. And then there were two, me and the moon. We're chasing one another, getting lost in another summer. Never wanted it to end. Now I'm losing all my friends. I'm reminded of the pain when I'm on the interstate, me and the moon, and we think of you. Watch me as I fall into the sky. I'm feeling tears, but I didn't wanna cry. Even the bright stars burn out someday. Don't even try. You're just like a butterfly. Your eyes will always catch my eye. And you're perfect, and then you go. We're chasing one another, getting lost in another summer. Never wanted it to end. Now I'm losing all my friends. I'm reminded of the pain when I'm on the interstate.
How much is this? in dollars.
Yes.
Dollars.
Okay.
So you have a discount of 35% if you buy any two from us.
Yes.
So after discount, it goes down to 112.
Oh, really? Ooh, good, good, good. 자기 보딩 패스 다 줘야 돼.
다리 나왜 친구?
맛있겠지. 양도 많고. 뭐야 이게?
Weekly.
그것도 우리 이거 맛있어. 응? 맛있겠다. 페널리거스 여기 최고였어. 아빠 기다려야 돼. 그죠? 가야 돼.
since lost your number, but I still have that old picture that I drew of you, buried under closet boxes. And maybe I needed you more than I know. Oh, Grayson, where did you go? Try to wish it better, but you're curly haired forever until I wake up.
Okay.
For the basket,
Yeah.
leave it like this, don't move.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
All your meals, delivery items, we will put here.
Okay.
So basically this area is clean.
Okay.
So for your rubbish,
Uh-huh.
tie out with the plastic, put it on the floor.
Okay.
Okay, on the floor, not here. Here is more for the food.
Okay.
Okay, same thing goes to the towel. 3 days later, we give you a new one.
Okay.
Take out the new one,
Uh-huh.
dirty one, put it back,
Okay.
tie up on the floor, please.
Okay.
Alright?
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Alright, thank you.
I see you, but I never made it here. Hadn't even thought about you. Now how am I supposed to feel when nothing that I do can make it real? Hey, do you